All right, hi guys. I hope you guys are doing well. Today we're going to be going over changes in states. So let me go ahead and pull up the PowerPoint for you guys. All right, awesome. So like I said, we're going to be talking about the changes in states. And what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and turn to your textbook page 94. And then for your workbook page, it's going to be page 79. All right. So get what you need. Make sure you have your textbook, your pencil, your paper, and your flashcards. If you need to, go ahead and pause the video to get everything ready. And then unpause once you're finished getting it ready next to you, all right? All right, awesome. So let's go ahead and review. We're going to review the vocab words that we have gone over in the other lessons. So let's go ahead and go over those and we'll see what happens, all right? So matter. I'm going to go ahead and have you guys repeat it. So I'm going to say matter, and then I'd like for you guys to repeat after me. So matter. And then I want you to go ahead and write down the, if you can remember, go ahead and write down the definition for matter. All right, so you can go ahead and pause the video and do so. All right, awesome. So matter is anything that has mass and takes up space. So let's go ahead and do the same thing for the next one. It says mass. Go ahead and say mass. All right, go ahead and write down what you think mass is. You may pause the video once again, just to make sure you have time to write it. And let's see what mass is. This is the amount of material that any object takes up. All right, so volume. If you can remember what volume is, go ahead and pause the video and write it down. And volume is the amount of space that an object takes up. All right, and physical property. So just like the other ones, if you need to pause the video to go ahead and write it down, that's perfectly okay. All right, so physical property is anything about an object that can be observed with our senses. All right, awesome. So now we're going to do the same thing with balance. Repeat balance after me. Balance. And balance is a tool scientists use to measure mass. All right, so graduated container. Go ahead and say graduated container. And that is a container with lines and numbers on its side that is used to measure liquid. All right, so our next one is solid. And solid keeps its shape and keeps its volume. So go ahead and repeat after me with liquid. Say liquid. All right, and liquid takes the shape of its container and keeps its volume. All right, and gas. Gas, let's see once it stops moving, takes the shape of its container and keeps its volume. All right, awesome. So I want to ask you guys something fun. We're going to be talking about ice cream. I know you guys all love ice cream. So I want you guys to go ahead and close your eyes and to think of a time that you were maybe eating ice cream. Was the day hot? Was it cold? Now, if it was a very hot day, I want you guys to think about what was happening to the ice cream, okay? So the questions I'm going to ask you is, what state of matter does the frozen treat start as? So let's go ahead and think about that. You can pause the video down and pause the video and then go ahead and write your answer. And then the other question I have for you guys is, what state of matter does it change into? All right, and so I'm gonna go ahead and answer those questions for you right now. So for the first one, this is, what state of matter does the frozen treat start as? And that would be a solid. All right, and then the next one is, what state of matter does it change into? And sadly, when our ice cream melts, it turns into a liquid. And it's not frozen or cold anymore. It kind of just becomes a crazy mess, if you ask me, right? All right, so today we're going to find out more about what can cause matter to change states. All right, awesome. So we're gonna go ahead and read the first page, 94, but I believe I have a video for you guys. So hold on one moment. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna click on this link. We're gonna watch the video. Let me go ahead and make it big for you guys. Oh, hold on. I forgot to share the, let me go ahead and share it with you guys, okay? Hold on one moment. Let me start it over so you guys can see. All right, ready? Have you ever wondered why the glass of your favorite cold drink gets all wet on the outside? Condensation happens when the gas turns into liquid. Surface, and that is when you'll see it. Condensation. Evaporation is quite a different story, my friends. Evaporation is when a liquid turns into a gas or vapor, like puddles of water that disappear after a rainstorm, or steam from a pot of boiling water. Evaporation. All right, awesome. So let me go ahead and get back to our PowerPoint. So,
Hey, I'm in here.
Oh,
I'm in this giant
Hold on.
freezer. Now, let's see what happens when I come outside where you are.
What is going on?
See the surface of my...
Oh, goodness. I'm so sorry. Let me go ahead and exit this out. Okay, so let's go ahead and share, get back to our power. Oh, goodness. All right. All right, let's go ahead and... All right, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let's go ahead and move on with our lesson. I believe we're gonna go to page 94. So yeah, let's go ahead and go to page 94 and I'll read that aloud to you guys. All right. Changes in states. God wants people to use the things that he has provided in the world. One way we do that is by changing matter from one state to another. Think about foods that you enjoy. Many have been frozen. When you freeze fruit juice to make an ice pop, the liquid juice becomes a solid frozen treat. Freezing also helps keep some foods from spoiling. Sometimes states change without help from people. A piece of chocolate left in the hot car melts. A solid chocolate changes into liquid chocolate. Solids and liquids. Heating a solid causes it to melt and become a liquid. Solids melt at different temperatures. Chocolate melts at about 36 Celsius, that would be 96.8 Fahrenheit, which is just a little lower than your body's temperature. That is why chocolate melts on your hands or melts in your mouth. Ice melts at 0 Celsius or 32 Fahrenheit. All right, so ice cream often melts quickly on a warm day. Okay, so I want you guys to think about this question. What can cause a liquid to become a solid? All right, and let's go ahead and go to page 95. Okay, so it says, some solids melt at very high temperatures. Solid gold will not become liquid unless it is heated to a temperature of 1000 degrees Celsius. That's over 1800 degrees Fahrenheit. Wow, that has to be really hot. Okay, so cooling a liquid can cause it to become a solid again. A candy maker melts a block of chocolate and pours it into molds. As the liquid chocolate cools, it becomes solid again. When the molds are taken off, the chocolate has taken the shape of the mold. All right, so we're going to come back to that question. It says, what happens to a solid when it is heated? Go ahead and pause the video and write down your answer. All right, and the answer to that is it changes to a liquid. All right, so um, yeah. So let's go ahead and go to page 96. All right. All right, awesome. So this is where we're gonna keep talking about liquid and gases and things like that. So I want you guys to think of this question as we read the next 2 pages is why do cold drink containers get wet on the outside? All right. So solids can change to liquids and liquids can change to solids. Liquids can also change to gases. Liquids become gases when they are heated. Okay. You have seen this happen when water boils in a pot or kettle. The boil the boiling water bubbles, steam rises from the water, and the steam is a gas called water vapor. As the water vapor spreads out in the room, it seems to disappear, but it is still there. Okay, so water vapor forms from boiling water, but it also forms as the sun warms bodies of water. The sun's heat causes the water in lakes, ponds, and even mud puddles to change to water vapor. When a liquid changes to a gas, the process is called evaporation. The water that evaporates stays in the air for a while. All right, so I want you guys to go ahead and grab a flashcard. And on the front, I want you to write evaporation. All right, and then on the back, go ahead and write that is when a liquid changes to a gas. So you can go ahead and pause the video to write that down. That way you can make that flashcard, all right? All right, awesome. So I have a quick question for you guys is heating a solid causes it to change to a liquid. What happens when a liquid is heated? All right, go ahead and pause the video to write down your answer. All right, now that you wrote down your answer, I want you to say it out loud to me. Ready? The liquid turns into a gas. All right, and I have a few more questions. Is what gas forms from water? Now repeat after me. It's called water vapor. Go ahead and say it. All right, and then can you see water vapor? Nope, you can't. It's invisible. All right, so boiling water creates water vapor. How else can water vapor form? Go ahead and write down an answer on your paper. And you can, like I said, you can pause the video to do so. That way you have more time. All right. And that would be when it is heated by the sun. All right. Maybe you guys can think of something else. Maybe you guys said when you heat something on the stove, or you have like something along those lines. All right. All right. And then what process or what is the process called when a liquid changes into a gas? And that would be evaporation. So let's go ahead and go to page 97. All right. So when a gas changes into a liquid, the process is called condensation. Can you guys go ahead and say that with me? Condensation. All right. So because that is another vocab word, I want you guys to go ahead and get your flashcard out and write condensation and then turn it over. And then you can go ahead and write is when a gas changes into a liquid. So go ahead and pause the video if you need some time to do that, just so you guys don't feel rushed. All right, so let's go ahead and keep reading, okay? So this can happen with water vapor in the air. When the water vapor cools, it condenses and can form clouds and rain. You can also see water vapor condense when you pour a cold drink into a glass on a hot day. Little drops of water from a glass on the outside, that is what condensation is, all right? So the cold drink cools the glass and the air around it. The water vapor in the air condenses or changes from a gas to a liquid. So this, go ahead and answer this question. It says, what is the process called when a gas changes into a liquid? Go ahead and write down your answer. And like I said, you can pause the video to go ahead and give yourself some time. All right, and the answer to that is condensation. All right, awesome. So it looks like we're done with reading for today. So why don't we go ahead and turn to your workbook pages? It's going to be page 779. All right, awesome. Oh, wait a second. My bad. I think we actually have one more page to read. I went a little bit ahead of myself. All right, so let's go ahead and read that. Okay, so it's going to be page 98. It says states of water. Any type of matter can change to another state, but most do not change easily. We usually think of each kind of matter as being the state we usually see it in. Okay, iron is a solid, gasoline is a liquid, and oxygen is a gas. Let me go ahead and do that really quick. All right, however, water is different. Water can easily change from one state to another. We see water most often in its liquid state, but ice, frost, and snow are solid forms of water. You cannot see water vapor in the air, but it is water as a gas. The Celsius temperature scale is based on the changing states of water. At 0 degrees Celsius, water freezes and changes to a solid. At 100 degrees Celsius, water boils and changes to a gas. Most types of matter contract or get smaller as they freeze. Water is one of the few kinds of matter that does the opposite. Water expands when it freezes and changes from a liquid to a solid. Frozen water or ice takes up more room than liquid water does. Why don't you go ahead and ask your parents if you can go ahead and try this. So you're going to go ahead and pour some water into a tall, clear plastic cup and place the cup on a level surface and mark the level of the liquid. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and put the cup in the freezer and leave it there until the liquid becomes a solid. And then compare the level of the solid with the mark on the cup. That'd be kind of like cool. So let me show you maybe like a different, I'm going to show you what type of cup I have here. My cup has lines. So maybe if you want to mark like on any cup that you have, just mark it like if, let's say you do 8 ounces. Mark it right there, maybe with a piece of tape, or maybe put a piece of tape and then mark it with a marker. That might be helpful. And then put it in the freezer. Make sure it's level. You don't want it to be tipping over because then you won't be able to see exactly where it is. But then you can put it in, and then when it freezes, I want you guys to go ahead and I'm gonna make the comments down below so you guys can comment. And I want you guys to tell me what it started at and where it ended. All right, or where it freezed at, if that makes sense. All right, awesome. So I have a few questions for you guys. Okay, so what substance can change easily from one state to another? So go ahead and write it down. Like I said, if you have to pause the video, go ahead. All right, and that answer is water. Water can be changed into plenty of different states. It's even here, it says that it's one of the most one of the few kinds of matter that can do each one. All right, so what state do we most often see water in? That would be a liquid. All right, and then what are some forms of water that you can think of? Just go ahead and write them down really quick. Like I said, if you want to, you can go ahead and put them in the comments with the with your freezing water activity. All right, awesome. So what happens to water at 100 degrees Celsius? All right, and that is water boils and changes to a gas. Okay, let's go ahead and answer this question. There's one more question for you guys. This is it's on page 99. It says, how is water different from most other kinds of frozen matter? So like I said, you can pause the video, write it down. And the answer to that is frozen water expands and takes up more room. How interesting is that? How interesting that we can freeze water and it becomes almost more than what we had before. Interesting. All right, so go ahead and go to page 79 and let's go ahead and look at it together. So for the instructions, it says complete the diagram with your teacher. So I can go ahead and do this with you. So it has the arrows, it says warmer and cooler on the bottom. Okay, so we know, let's say, okay, so let's see. So I remember we talked about at 0 degrees Celsius, that's when water or liquids freeze. So you can go ahead and write on the side where it has the thermometer and write freeze on the part that has, it lines up with the 0, all right? And then for the next one above that one, when it's where it says 100 degrees Celsius, you're gonna go ahead and put that it boils, because when the water gets really, really hot, it's gonna get all these bubbles on top, all right? Okay, so typically when it's cooler and below 0, remember that can freeze it. And so when we freeze something, it becomes hard, right? So that one, the one closest to the cooler arrow, is gonna say solid, all right? And then right in the middle, typically when it's room temperature or something, you can see water and it's in its liquid state. So right in the middle, you're gonna write liquid. And at the top, next to warmer, or right beneath warmer or underneath it, you're gonna write gas, because when it gets hot, heat rises and so the gas goes up. All right, awesome. So now the next one is fill in the blanks. The words liquid and solid will be used more than once. Okay, so maybe you guys want to box around liquid, or maybe color liquid blue and solid maybe like red or another color that you have. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'll do the first one with you. It says matter blank from one state to another. Matter changes state from one state to another. So go ahead and pause the video to write that answer down. All right, awesome. So why don't let's do one more with you. Let's see, let's do number 2. Heating a solid causes it to melt and become go ahead and say it out loud. That's right, we're gonna go ahead and write liquid. All right, awesome. Well, thank you so much for watching this video, you guys. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me, or even Ms. Vukovic, or anything like that, or your teacher, and we'd be more than willing to help you. All right, you guys? Have a good day. All right, you guys. So I almost forgot. For your booklet, you're going to be doing pages 8 and 9. And I know that for Wednesday, you guys are supposed to do, or day 3, you guys were supposed to do pages 6 and 7 in your matter booklet. But I did realize that page 7, you guys didn't get the paper that you can cut the pictures out. So if you guys would like to, go ahead and maybe draw the pictures in of maybe for like solid, liquid, and gas. So maybe you can draw like a little, a cup full of water for liquid or something like that. Just make sure you guys can draw it in, because you guys weren't able to have the things to cut out. All right, awesome. Well, thank you once again for watching this video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. All right, guys, so these are the pictures that were supposed to get sent home and didn't. If you'd like, you can go ahead and use those as examples and pause the video. That way you can use them to draw. All right, you guys have a good day. Bye-bye.